What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update. Before I crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help to support my channel, then do subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. I am aiming for 21k subscribers, less than 400 subs, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. We will be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates once more when the winter transfer window opens, all the way throughout January, so do stay tuned for that. Social media links in the description below, and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, leave a thumbs up as well if you do enjoy this video. Once more, aiming for 300 likes. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I wanted to give a shout out to the latest JSGC member, Kevin O'Donnell. Thank you very much for becoming a JSGC member. Your support is much appreciated by me. Absolute legend. If you want to become a member just like Kevin and get access to custom stickers and emojis, as well as priority access to some of my videos and a shout out on one of my transfer updates, then just press that join button, which you can find next to the subscribe button. Also wanted to give a big shout out to today's video sponsor, manscaped.com.
This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com, the premium global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Manscaped provide the best tools, equipment and liquids for every body part. They have been kind enough to send me the new Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a cordless trimmer with a wireless charging system, providing 90 minutes on one full charge on the lithium-ion battery. The trimmer has LED lights on the front to show battery life, and also on the trimmer for a more precise shave. Ceramic blades with skin-safe technology are provided to help reduce nicks and cuts. 4 trimmer guard options are also available to customize your hair length. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof, allowing for easy cleanup. A new travel lock feature is built in to prevent vibrations whilst on the go. So come and join me and 2 million other men worldwide who trust Manscaped when it comes to keeping yourself clean and tidy. Use code JSGC20 for 20% off and free worldwide shipping.
Thank you very much to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. If you want to get yourself 20% off, then go and use code JSGC20 at checkout. Get yourself free shipping as well. That would be much appreciated. It does help support the future content created here on my channel. On with this video. Firstly, going to give a very quick contract update in terms of Phil Foden. Verbal agreement is in place. We're just waiting for the contract to be signed and sealed and announced by Manchester City. Good news to start the video. Now, moving on to the outs, Raheem Sterling, got an update on him. He's done a very interesting interview with FT Business of Sport US Summit. I've not heard of them, if I'm honest, but he has done this interview anyway, and he said that if he doesn't get more game time, he would consider leaving Manchester City, and he does have dreams of testing himself abroad. Raheem Sterling's contract is up in 2023. Manchester City do want Raheem Sterling on a new contract. Raheem Sterling, though, he wants to see if he becomes a first-team regular in the Manchester City squad before committing on the next steps to his future, which will either be him committing to Manchester City or deciding not to and leaving Manchester City. So we're still awaiting on that decision. Pep Guardiola has spoken about it and said that Raheem Sterling needs to fight for his place at Manchester City if he sees his future at our club. So interesting. Anyway, moving on to the ins, so much to get through. We're going to start off first with Declan Rice. We've got an update on him. The Athletic, they're saying that Manchester City have identified Declan Rice as the man that they want to sign next summer to replace Fernandinho. Fernandinho isn't expected to extend his contract beyond the summer with Manchester City, so it does mean that City are going to need quality competition and cover for Rodri in that defensive midfield slot, and it would make sense for City to go for someone homegrown just like Declan Rice, and so he could well be the player that City choose to target. Calvin Phillips is another player that City could choose to target as well from Leeds United. We'll see. It's all about cost, and I've got a feeling with the homegrown English premium, the Premier League premium put on top of the price as well, both Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, they'll be two pretty expensive transfers. So it's all about how much money City are willing to spend on a defensive midfielder who, let's face it, is more than likely going to be cover and probably nothing more to Rodri with how outstanding he has been. And due to the age of Rodri as well, you think long-term he will be Manchester City's permanent holding midfielder. So will City break the bank? That is the question. But if Rice wants to step up and play regular Champions League football, then he could choose to do that. I'm not too sure if that'll be at Manchester City, though. Would like to know your thoughts of that in the comments below. Interestingly, the MEN, moving on to the next story, has spoken about Denis Zakaria, and apparently he's a player that Manchester City could look towards if Fernandinho does indeed leave Manchester City in the summer, which is what we are expecting. His contract at Borussia Monchengladbach runs out in the summer, so he would be a cheaper option because he's not going to cost anything, so he'd be automatically cheaper than Declan Rice or Calvin Phillips. The only question would be, is does Denis Zakaria want to be playing regular first team football and perhaps join another team either in the Premier League or elsewhere and have regular first team football, or would he like to have that step up and play for Manchester City and compete for trophies and compete for the Premier League and the Champions League, albeit he will be competing with Rodri to get into the team, so he might struggle to get game time for the foreseeable, but that remains to be seen. We'll see. I imagine there will definitely be lots of holding midfielders that would love to come to City to learn from Pep, to learn from Rodri, and have the opportunity to potentially get into the Manchester City squad, because let's face it, Rodri cannot do, 55, 60 games per season, so there's definitely always 20, 25, 30 games even for appearances and starts when joining Manchester City, so the options at the moment seem like Denis Zakaria, Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips. There's cheaper options out there, there's more expensive options out there, there's homegrown options out there. Which will Manchester City go for if Fernandinho does indeed leave, which is what we are expecting. Now, moving on, a newish name comes in the form of an update on Matthijs De Ligt. We haven't really had an update on him in, a year or two, so yeah, he's back in the headlines. Apparently, Manchester City, they're interested in signing Matthijs De Ligt. Now, we'll speak more about why that is, but first, the story is saying that City are in contact with Raiola. We already know that we're in contact with Raiola over Erling Haaland. Well, apparently we're also in contact with Raiola over De Ligt as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But apparently Manchester City are set to hold talks with Raiola to discuss the potential transfer and making a move for Matthijs De Ligt from Juventus. City were once upon a time linked with De Ligt when he played for Ajax. He chose, though, to go to Juventus instead, and so City now remain keen on De Ligt and would perhaps like to make a move. Albeit City don't really need centre-back, so I presume this story's coming about a potential update maybe in the making over the coming weeks or months about Aymeric Laporte. He's getting game time, though. Last I heard about Aymeric Laporte was that he wanted to leave Manchester City, but that was because he was struggling to get into the squad. He's no longer struggling to get into the squad. He is getting into the squad. At this moment in time, he is Manchester City's centre-back, along with Ruben Diaz, who's getting the most minutes whilst playing in that position at centre-back. So it remains to be seen as to why or whether he will want to leave. So I imagine, naturally, that's going to put a question mark over our other centre-back that's competing for that spot, which, of course, Nathan Ake and John Stones. I'm yet to hear either of them players would like to leave Manchester City. We've already seen John Stones, his attitude from last summer. He wants to fight for his place, so I don't think he'll want to leave, and I don't think Ake will either, so not too sure where this story has come from, but this is all according to Calcio Mercato. So, yeah, I am questioning the legitimacy of that story. Now, moving on, we've got an update on Dusan Vlahovic. We've had a bit of reliability now put onto this story. Sky in Germany, they are saying indeed that Manchester City are interested in signing the Fiorentina striker. Atletico Madrid have also declared their interest, and Juventus are also interested, of course, in signing Vlahovic from Fiorentina. Of course, playing in Serie A, you would think that Juventus would like to keep hold of the best players in Serie A, and so that would give them a little bit of an advantage there, and particularly as they've freed up some funds and finances with Cristiano Ronaldo leaving, that they may look towards maybe bringing in someone like Dusan Vlahovic. That remains to be seen. Atletico Madrid, I'm not too sure what their finances are like to be able to afford to make a move. Manchester City's name being put out there, it could be because the other want to put the price up for other teams to pay, or it could be that just City are genuinely looking at strikers and would like to sign Vlahovic. But all eyes is what I'm hearing is that City are looking at another striker instead, and we do have an update on that player, and it comes in the form of a big update on Erling Haaland. Now, BILD in Germany, they're saying Real Madrid, they are believed to be cooling their interest right now in Erling Haaland. Manchester City are the team that are intensifying talks with Haaland's agent, Mino Raiola. which is good news if you're wanting Haaland to come to Manchester City. Shows that City are taking this transfer very seriously and are looking to try and move as quickly as possible to try and make this transfer happen. Now, BILD have said that City, with the fee, a release clause of around 65 to 70 million pounds, which becomes active next summer, is not a problem to Manchester City. City do not mind activating that release clause to sign Erling Haaland. Now, they have added on that in terms of wages, that Manchester City aren't having a problem with that either. Some numbers were chucked out there and I found them pretty confusing, because it was reported that City are willing to offer Erling Haaland and agree upon 50 million euros per year in wages, which to me simply does not make sense. Now, I don't know whether that's a mistranslation or a miscommunication of whether it'd be like a 3, 4, 5 year deal and it'd be worth over 50 million euros over them years, because if that is 50 million euros a year in just wage, that would be a wage of over £800,000 per week, which simply will not happen. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is more than double what Kevin De Bruyne is on. City will not upset their wage structure so much to bring in Erling Haaland. We wouldn't do it for Lionel Messi to bring him here, so we won't do it for Erling Haaland either. So that isn't very believable, so I'm not too sure what the mistranslation is here. I don't know whether it's they're looking for a 50 million euros upfront agent fee and representatives fee to get this transfer done, which again probably is feasible, because I can see Raiola probably asking for bare minimum, what, 25-30 million pounds to make this transfer happen. So that is closer to that 50 million euros figure that is being reported. So that might be his first year's wage on top of the money that would be paid to the agent and the representatives as well. The one thing I do know is that this transfer, it's not just 65-70 million pound that goes to Dortmund to sign this player. There's so much money involved in the background to get this transfer done. Agent fees, wages, bonuses, image rights, all the other rights, representatives getting paid as well to make this transfer happen. And that's just me thinking on top of my head. You're probably looking at so many different clauses and bits of the contracts and making this happen and that happen. It's just so complicated, and because it's so complicated, it is going to take time. However, Manchester City's best bet of signing Erling Haaland is to get things ironed out as quickly as possible, get all the agreements in place, talk with the player, get the player to say he wants to join Manchester City and get the transfer done. The transfer is definitely doable, and with Real Madrid believing to cool their interest is a good thing for Manchester City. We do still have competition from Barcelona. I'm very confident that we can flex our financial muscle to Erling Haaland and to Barcelona, that they would back down. However, clubs can compete with us on a financial level. Teams like PSG, who may well be interested in Erling Haaland, particularly if Kylian Mbappe decides to leave. Also, Manchester United are believed to be looking at a striker should Cavani leave. Also, Liverpool have been linked with Erling Haaland as well. There's probably going to be one or two other teams interested in signing Haaland too. That's not mentioning Bayern Munich as well, who are based in the Bundesliga, who, just like I was mentioning with Vlahovic and Juventus and wanting to keep him in Serie A, I tell you right now that that Bayern Munich could be interested in keeping one of Bundesliga's hottest talents, Erling Haaland, in Germany as well. So we've got lots of competition. We need to act quickly, but all things at this moment in time look pretty good for Manchester City. So I would like to know your thoughts in the comments below. Erling Haaland, is he worth it? What should we pay him? Let me know in the comments below. So there we go, that has been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, like I said, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up as well if you did enjoy this video. Aiming for 300 likes, any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget, if you want to become a JSGC member and get a shout out on one of my transfer updates, then go and press that join button, which you can find next to the subscribe button. I want to give another big shout out to Kevin O'Donnell for becoming the latest JSGC member. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. We're closing in on 21k subscribers, less than 400 subs away. We're going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the January transfer window, so stay tuned for that. I imagine we'll be speaking a lot about Erling Haaland, so if you want to stay up to date first and fast, then do subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. I'm looking for a sponsor for them daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout January. So if that is something that does interest you, then do let me know through my emails and we'll see what we can get sorted. Lastly, I wanted to give a big shout out to today's video sponsor. Go and get yourself 20% off using code JSGC20 at checkout and get yourself free worldwide shipping as well. Doing and using that code does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So if there's anything on manscaped.com that takes your interest, go and get yourself 20% off as well using my code. That would be fantastic. And I'll see you all again very soon. Tomorrow, in fact, we've got the preview up for the big weekend game, Brighton and Hove Albion away, so I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.